beautiful soul. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so pumped that you're here. As always, my name is Emily the Mystic, and I am a psychic development coach and teacher and Akashic Records teacher as well. And one of my favorite things about the work that I do and being a spiritual business owner is that I get to help my clients and people like you connect with their own psychic and intuitive gifts. I did not grow up with psychic experiences. I realized that I was having psychic and intuitive experiences later on in life. And I learned how to connect with my spirit guides and the spirit world as an adult, as an older person, which I feel like I am so passionate about teaching because I want you to know that it is absolutely possible for you to connect with your own gifts as well, no matter how old you are, no matter what stage of life you're in, no matter what your career is or where you live in the world. We all have a spiritual connection that we can open up and that we can allow ourselves to connect with the spirit world and be open to receiving the messages that they have to share with us. So today I wanted to dive into 6 different ways that you can connect with your spirit guide team. I wanted to give you a plethora of different tools that you can work with and ideas for you with connection, and also some helpful tips and tricks, some troubleshooting information when it comes to connecting with your spirit guides. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, likely if you're watching this video, you've probably tried connecting with your spirit guides before, and maybe you feel a little bit frustrated because that connection feels weak, or it feels like you're not quite sure if you're actually talking to your spirit guides, or if it's your ego mind that's getting in the way, if your mind is making it up. Trust me, I was that way too, and I always was questioning whether or not my brain was coming up with and creating these things in my mind, especially in meditation. And so today, with the information I'm going to share with you, it's going to give you some different tactical tips and tricks for connecting with your guides and some different ways of working with them. And so I want you to know too, my connection with my spirit guides has not been the same throughout my spiritual journey. I use different methods with connecting with my guides, and it is not a one size fits all approach. There are some people out there that will tell you, like, you really have to train your brain to meditate, and you really have to be able to clear your mind of any of your thoughts in order to be able to connect with the spirit world. And if you can't do that, it's a lost cause, and you have to, do all these things in a certain order and follow these specific steps. But for me, that's absolutely not the case, especially if you consider yourself to be a neurodivergent person, somebody whose brain processes the world and information in a different way. I have a lot of clients who have ADHD and who struggle with meditation and struggle with allowing their brain to relax and process information and who simply can't process information in a way that a neurotypical person could. And so they feel really frustrated that they can't seem to connect with their spirit guides in a way that the rest, a lot of people can. So try all of these different methods. Pick 1 or 2 that you want to focus on to start. Give them a try. See what happens. And if they don't work, throw them away. Let them go. Throw them in the trash and try one of the other methods and see what happens for you. I go through processes and phases where I will stick to one of these methods and then I'll get bored of it, and then I'll try a different one and I'll use that with my practice. And so you may go through cycles like that as well. And some of these are better for people who also lead busy lives. So some of these techniques will help you if you are super busy and just can't seem to find a way to sit down to connect with your guides. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I also encourage you to check out my psychic discernment video for discerning information from the spirit world. It will help you with protecting your energy and making sure that you're connecting with the right beings and energies in the first place. This video is not about that, so I don't want to get into that information in detail, but make sure you go ahead and watch that video because it will help give you a good foundation for this. So once you've got that taken care of, then you can give some of these methods a try. Now, I do want to start with method number 1, which is connecting to your guides in meditation, because that is going to be the most popular method and it's going to be the most well-known method as well. And I do want to give you some tips and tricks with meditation to help you connect. So my meditation, personally, it started with using one of those meditation apps. Specifically, I was using Headspace at the time, and that meditation app was all about clearing your mind and letting go of all the thoughts that were in your head. And I just found it really frustrating because the way that my brain works, it's always going a million miles a minute. I always am thinking of a trillion different things. And I just found that doing that sort of meditation practice didn't work for me. Now, what did work for me was using guided visualization meditation. Now, what's the difference? A guided visualization meditation is going to take you on a spiritual journey. It's going to help to train your brain to use your gift of clairvoyance to be able to see things in your mind's eye and to be able to lead you within your mind's eye to connect with your spirit guides. Now, meditation helps you to do this because it helps your brain to move into deeper, more relaxed brainwave states, specifically the alpha brainwave state and even deeper theta brainwave states as well. When you're in those deeper brainwave states, your brain is more receptive and open to new information. So being in those deeper brainwave states can allow you to have a clear connection to the spirit world. And by the way, all of this is going to take some time and practice. However, the more you do practice, the faster you'll be able to get into those deeper brainwave states and be able to connect with your spirit guides in a clearer way. For example, this journey, if you're really dedicated to it and are actively wanting to connect with your spirit guides, most of my clients are able to do that, I would say, within 3 to 6 months. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to really develop that clear connection and to really get used to the frequency of what it feels like to connect with your spirit guides. So meditation is the best way to do that, specifically guided meditations. So guided meditations, you're listening to somebody else's voice and they are helping lead you on a journey, again, in order to experience something, to meet with someone. So what I do for my clients, and I'm going to share with you 2 ways that you can work with me and be in my energy to help experience this for yourself. I have a special meditation library. I'm going to leave the link to it below. And in the meditation library, I have, I think, 10 to 12 meditations in there that are specifically for connecting with different types of spirit guides. And the cool thing about that is that when you go into the meditative space, ideally you want to set an intention of who you would like to connect with. That's going to give you an even clearer point of focus for connecting with the spirit world. And by the way, another really important thing to note is that our guides want to connect with us just as much as we want to connect with them. Our guides are a higher vibrational frequency. We in the human world here on planet Earth are in the 3rd dimensional frequency. Our spirit guides are in a higher dimensional frequency, 5th, 6th, 7th, and above and beyond. So in order to connect with them, we have to raise our vibration and they have to lower their energetic vibration so that we can meet in the middle in order to be able to talk together, especially in the meditative space. So the meditations that I've created are designed to help you raise your vibration and to give you an energetic place and space where you can connect with your guides in your mind. And in the meditation, yes, you'll be seeing things visually in your mind's eye, but you're also going to be guided to experience things through your other psychic gifts, including clairaudience, so receiving verbal messages in your mind, claircognizance, so just knowing something or having a deep insight or awareness, and clairsentience, so connecting with your body and feelings and emotions that are connected to your spirit guides. So, in a guided meditation experience, you are going to be setting that intention to connect with a specific guide. You're going to be raising your vibration in order to be able to do that. And you're going to be prompted with specific questions to ask them in order to receive guidance and information from them. Because that's the whole point of why we want to connect with them in the first place, is so that we have this team of advisors that we can communicate with in order to get actual helpful guidance for what's going on in our life, right? So a guided meditation experience can absolutely help you do that. So that is my recommendation for you with this number one way of connecting to your spirit guides, which is meditation, is to come at it from the approach of using guided meditations. You're going to have a deeper experience that way. It's going to help your brain to relax a little bit more into the process. And basically, with a guided meditation, somebody else is holding the space for you so that you can receive the experience. So check out my meditation library. I'm going to leave the link below. That's going to help you be able to do this on your own. And again, there are over 20 meditations in this meditation library. And of those 20 meditations, I believe there are 10 or 12 that are specifically for spirit guide connection. So make sure you check that out. Okay, so let's talk about the next way of connecting with your spirit guides. If you have trouble with meditation, even guided meditation, it's just not your thing, you get frustrated, you can't relax, you have thoughts popping in, and you just can't seem to really get into the space, I would encourage you to do something called method number 2, meditative activities. What are meditative activities? They are activities that allow your body to kind of go into that autopilot state, into sort of that rest and digest nervous system state. When your body is in that rest and digest nervous system state, your brain is also in a more relaxed brainwave state. So you can reach those deeper levels of brainwave states that you can in meditation while actually doing a physical activity. Isn't that cool? So you don't necessarily have to be in meditation to connect with your spirit guides. You can be doing something with your body. And this is going to be a great method for you if you have ADHD and you can't, and meditation is just not something that works for you. Or if you have trouble with really getting out of your mind and out of your head. If you're one of those people where you're in your head all the time and you're constantly thinking, you're an overthinker, an overanalyzer, these meditative activities are going to help you get into your body so that you can, again, be in those deeper brainwave states, be more receptive, and you will be surprised as to what's coming through. We've all had one of those experiences where we have gone to take a shower, we've been maybe frustrated about something going on in our life, we go to take a shower, and during the shower, we get an idea or an insight of what to do next. And we get really excited because we're like, oh my gosh, that was so clear. Wow, like now I know how to handle this or what to do next. That is coming from your spirit guides, my friends. That is an example of spirit guide connection, in my opinion. So showering is an example of a meditative activity that you can do in order to cultivate that spirit guide connection. So here are some examples of meditative activities. We have showering, we have walking. Jogging is okay if you're a runner, but if you are not a runner, I would not encourage you to do really heavy and intense physical activity with this because you're going to be more focused on your body sensations, and that's not what we want to do. Although exercising in general is a great way to receive spirit guide communication, yoga is a great way, gentler stretching, gentler exercising in general can definitely help facilitate that connection. Cooking something simple and easy that you can kind of cook on autopilot, like making your breakfast in the morning or cooking a recipe that you make all the time that's like really simple for you and allows your brain to just relax. Gardening is another one. If you love being outside and working with your hands, gardening is a really great way to relax your brain. We also have doing art, so doing something creative, whether that be coloring in an adult coloring book, or if you're actually an artist and you really like feel relaxed when you're painting on canvas or drawing or creating something, maybe even if it's digital art. So creating something, that can be an example of meditative activity. And finally, the last one that I have is dancing. So dancing is another great way to really get out of your body, to be able to move and to be able to receive. Now, for doing meditative activities, all you need to do is set the intention to connect with your spirit guides before you do the activity. So let's say you are going for a walk and you want to connect with your spirit guides. Before you leave the house, you're going to set the intention and say, Spirit guides, I would like to connect with you while I am on this walk, and I would love guidance about this situation that's going on in my life. So you're going to leave the house. You're not going to have your headphones in, right? You're not going to be listening to anything or have any distractions. You're not going to be walking with somebody else. You're going to be by yourself, doing this in private. And as you walk, just allow yourself to relax and be open to ideas that come in, insights, awarenesses. It's going to be very subtle, you guys. It's not going to feel like God struck a lightning bolt down onto the earth and all of a sudden you have a complete clear picture of your whole entire life and you have all the answers you needed. It's going to feel very subtle. For example, you may, as you're on your walk, you may just have an idea of like, oh yeah, it would be really cool if I did this. Or, oh, you know, with that situation I'm going through with this person in my life, I know I need to have a conversation with them, and here's the guidance for how I would handle it. So it's going to feel very subtle. But when you get back from your walk, take a moment to write down any of those ideas that came through or any insights that you had into what's going on in your life. You will. And I guarantee you, as you've been going throughout your whole life, I guarantee you've had those experiences before where you took the shower or you drove in your car or you went outside and got a good workout and you come back in and you know exactly what you need to do. That's your spirit guides coming in. So you've already been doing this, but the more intentional you can be with it, the easier it's going to be to connect with them more in the future. So doing those meditative activities is a great way to do that. Now, the third method that I want to share with you is that perhaps while you're doing a meditative activity, or even if you're just sitting quietly in your space, you can connect with your spirit guides with your eyes open. Not when you're in meditation, but actually with your eyes open through having a conversation with them. Now, if you live with people, you're going to want to make sure that you're in a quiet space so that you can do this, so that you don't feel weird and you're not, disturbing the people around you. But what you can do is with your eyes open, you can set the intention to meaningfully connect with your spirit guides. And after you do that, you can start having a conversation out loud. You can say, Spirit guides, I would like to connect with you. And then you can start talking out loud. Now, if you are somebody who has been talking to yourself your whole life, I guarantee you that's a lot of that is also coming from your spirit guides already. That's really what I found out about myself. I've been a big self-talker my whole life and realized later on that a lot of that was coming from my spirit guides. So if you're doing this and you feel like you're facilitating a little bit of a back and forth conversation, I would encourage you to use the voice memo app on your phone to record it so that as you are speaking and having this conversation, and you may be like, I feel like I need to talk about this, or I'm seeing in my mind's eye a flower, or I just feel like I really need to talk about this relationship situation and talk it out. That, when you record that, that is absolutely spirit guide messages that are coming through. So, talking out loud, a great method of connecting with your guides. Method number 4 is similar to this method. You're going to have your eyes open, and that is automatic writing through journaling. Now, I have a whole YouTube video on this topic and go into it in depth and give you an automatic writing exercise for you to try on your own. So make sure you go check that out if you haven't already. So I'm just going to talk about this briefly. But automatic writing is the process of intentionally connecting with your guides and then allowing them to write through you as you put pen to paper or even as you type out on a blank Word document on your computer. This process allows you to channel information coming from your spirit guides to get it out of your body and onto a physical surface in front of you. So if you're doing automatic writing, just a couple of tips here. Make sure you're in a relaxed state before you give this a try. So take some deep breaths, be in a quiet space, allow yourself to really relax, be in the moment, and set an intention of what you want to receive when you are doing this exercise. The clearer we can be with our intention, the clearer the guidance that we're going to get, right? And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video. So automatic writing is a great way to connect with your guides. If meditation doesn't work for you, if you would like a physical representation of spirit guide connection, especially with automatic writing, you're going to have this like written record of your connection with your guides. And that can be really cool and a cool thing to look back on with time and to be able to see what you've received from your spirit guides, and maybe did you follow the guidance or not, and how did that end up panning out for you. Now, the fifth way that you can connect with your spirit guides is through working with cards. So specifically, oracle cards, tarot cards are also amazing. Oracle cards are a great place to get started if you've never worked with cards before. I don't recommend just jumping into tarot right off the bat if you've never done this before, because tarot is a bit of a complicated system. There's a lot of symbology and a lot of things to learn, and getting yourself an oracle card deck is just a really fun way to start working with your spirit guides. And oracle cards are very modern. Typically they have beautiful artwork, and they have a guidebook that comes with them that's very clear with what the messages mean for each card. So working with your oracle cards is a great way to start facilitating spirit guide connection and to feel really connected to the other side and to your guides. So with using and working with cards, you're of course going to want to create clear, quiet space for yourself to do this. And what you're going to do is you're going to set the intention of asking a question of what you would like to receive. That could be, what do I need to know for my day ahead? Or what do I need to know about this specific situation? Or what guidance do you have for me about my love life or my finances? And then you're going to pull a card to represent the message that needs to be received. So what cards do is they organize psychic information and make it very clear and very visual. So this is going to be great for somebody who's visual, and also great for somebody who wants clear evidence of a message. You can take pictures of the cards that you pull so that you can look back at the messages that you receive with time. And after you pull your card, just taking a moment to look at the card and feel into the imagery, the symbolism, the colors, and discern for yourself what the message is before you even go into the guidebook. Once you sort of have a general idea of what the message is, then you want to go in the guidebook and read for the specific information of how the author of the deck designed the cards and their meanings. It's better if you develop your own personal relationship with your deck and really feel into what the individual cards mean for you versus just following what the guidebook says, because you may have a slightly different interpretation, and sometimes that can be even more helpful than just following what the guidebook tells you to do. So give oracle cards a try. They are so much fun, and they really can be a mirror for what's going on in your life and really help you clearly physically see guidance for you with what's going on. And finally, the sixth method that I want to share with you is connecting to your spirit guides in dreams. I love to do this. It's a really great way to facilitate the connection. You may not necessarily meet with a spirit guide in your dream, although that's possible, but more likely by doing this method that I'm going to share with you in a moment, you will be able to have a dream that's going to be full of symbolism that you can work to discern and decode the next day after you wake up to figure out what the message is about. So what you want to do is, before you go to sleep at night, and you can do this in a journal or on a piece of paper, take a moment to tune into what guidance you would like to receive. So what is going on in your life, and what do you need help with? So write down a specific intention, because that's going to be really helpful. You could even write, "Dear Spirit Guides, I would love some guidance and assistance with this area of my life. Please share with me in my dream state advice for how I can handle this." and then you're going to go to sleep. And then when you wake up, get your journal out immediately and write down everything that you remember. This is important because you're going to forget things. Trust me. No matter how many times I think, oh my gosh, this dream was so vivid, I'm going to remember it. And then I go throughout my day and I totally forget everything because we're busy and we can't, our brain doesn't have space for all of this stuff. So when you wake up, make sure you journal about it. And when you're in the journaling state, which also helps us connect to those deeper brainwave states, it will help you sort of discern the messages behind the dreams and will help you sort of remember some clear examples of what was coming through in the dream. So dreams can be a really great way of connecting with your guides. Now, I just have a couple of pieces of guidance for troubleshooting your connection with your spirit guides. If you feel like you're not getting a lot, if you're feeling frustrated. Number one, I want you to be empowered with this journey and empowered with how you approach life in general. If we're sitting back and we're taking a very passive approach to life, where we kind of allow life to come to us and we're not really taking active action in our life, we're not really actively creating anything, it's going to be harder for you to connect with your spirit guides. And here's why. The best way to connect with your spirit guides is to be intentional with what you want to receive, meaning intentional with asking for specific questions and asking for specific guidance. You need to be really aware and present to what's going on in your life in order to be able to do that. So, for example, let's say you've been trying to connect with your spirit guides and every time you're like, just give me a message. Just tell me what I need to know. Just give me something. Versus if you connect with your spirit guides and you say, spirit guides, I need help with my financial situation. I feel overwhelmed. I need assistance with what to do next with my career. Oh my gosh, are you going to get clearer guidance that way than if you're just showing up and you're like, help me, what do I need, right? And I'm sorry if that's you and that's a little triggering to you, but it's really important that you remember that you are in the driver's seat of your own life and that your guides are here to guide you. They're not here to tell you what to do. And in order to do that, you need to ask them for help with specific things. Same with any relationship, right? People are not mind readers, and our friends, family members, they may not necessarily know what we're going through unless we tell them. Our spirit guides are watching us from above, and they're sort of seeing an overarching view of what we're going through, but they may not necessarily fully understand your state of mind, how you feel, and why and how you're making the decisions and choices that you are. They don't know absolutely everything about you. They are guides. So helping them by telling them about yourself like you would in any relationship is going to be crucial to developing the relationship with them so that they can actually give you good guidance to help you and to help you figure things out. So again, with all of these methods, being really intentional and direct with what you need is going to give you a much better result than just going into this open-ended with, I just want to communicate with my spirit guides because it's fun and it's cool, right? So remember that, and you may even just, before you even try any of these methods, like sit with yourself, get out a journal and just write down, okay, I know that I really need help specifically in my love life, and I really want to work with my spirit guides to help to use their guidance for how to figure out how I can attract the love of my life. Because ideally, in any area of your life where you're struggling, you want a different outcome. You want to create something specific. You want to manifest something specific. So when you're in that energy and you can be really clear about that, your guides can help you manifest something specific, but they need to know what you want. And you need to figure out what you want and also where you're struggling so that they can help you in an even more direct way. So there is that. The other piece of this too is that, especially at first, spirit guide communication may come through in a way that's a little bit more vague or open-ended. You may receive a message of, you are so loved, or we're always with you, or we're here with you. And that can sound really simple, And that can be frustrating because you're like, well, I want things to be more clear. I want things to be more specific. But I also want you to remember, if you're brand new to this, that the simplicity of those messages can actually be really, really profound. And a profound reminder that you are loved, that you are supported, that they are with you, right? So be grateful for what you are receiving and know that your channel will open up more. You will be able to have better discernment and things will come through more clearly the more that you take the time to practice any of these methods. Another important thing to remember is that spirit guides are never going to come through in a disempowering, negative, attached, direct, painful way. Meaning your spirit guides are not going to boss you around. They are not going to be present all of the time, 24/7 throughout your day and in your life. Spirit guides have a very loving energy that's supportive, but you're not always going to feel like you're being watched or like they're constantly bossing you around or directing your life. If you do feel that way, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's likely that you have an entity attachment and that is not a spirit guide, or it could be some sort of low vibrational spirit that is in your field and that is just kind of having fun messing with you. And I don't mean to freak you out, but we do not take messages from beings that are not supportive and that are not here to help us. And if you're feeling uncomfortable or off or even fearful or worried about the future because of what messages you're receiving, it's likely not from a spirit guide, and unfortunately, it's likely from a negative entity of some kind. So if that is you, comment below and I will get in touch with you and we'll figure out a way to help you navigate that. But spirit guides are never going to make you feel uneasy or like you're in harm's way at any point in your life. And by the way, spirit guides are not the ultimate end-all be-all with your life. You are in the driver's seat. You have free will. Your life is up to you. You are the ultimate creator of your life. So with all of that in mind, your spirit guides can give you guidance and helpful information and tips and tricks to follow, but they are not driving the bus. You don't have to follow what they say. You don't have to do what they tell you. You don't have to follow all of their guidance. It is ultimately up to you what you decide to do with your life. And you can set boundaries with your spirit guides, just like with anything and with any person, any relationship in your life. If you're starting to feel like you need more time and space to yourself or your channel is too open, you can set the intention and ask your guides, okay, I am only open to receiving communication during this certain time of the day or when I'm in meditation in the morning or before bed, and be really clear and direct with them, and they will respect that and they will follow that boundary. They will respect your boundaries. So give that a try too, and I hope that works. So I hope this video helped you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more guidance like this. Make sure you like this video and make sure you comment below what helped you, what resonated with you. I can't wait to hear. And if you are wanting to dive in deeper into your connection with spirit guides and really open up your psychic and intuitive gifts, learn how to work with oracle cards, learn how to work with automatic writing, learn how to work with pendulums, which is something I didn't even mention here in this video, and also learn how to receive clear guidance for yourself and even do readings for other people, I have an amazing self-paced course that's called the Intuition Activation Academy. It's currently on sale as of filming this video for $200 off. It's my favorite thing that I've ever made. It is jam-packed with 8 weeks of information, resources, videos, practice exercises, tips, tricks, tools, techniques, and meditations that you can do anywhere. You can take them on the go, and this course is going to help you with everything I've mentioned in this video and so much more. It takes this information to a deeper level. So make sure you check that out. It's the course that I wish that I had had when I was beginning this journey and learning how to work with my own psychic and intuitive gifts. And I guarantee you, it is going to blast open your psychic gifts and you're going to emerge on the other side feeling intuitive AF and psychic AF, and it's just going to be so much fun for you. So make sure you check that out. The link for that is below, as well as the link to my meditation library. If the Intuition Activation Academy isn't in your budget right now, meditation library is a really great way to start working with me and also to start working with your spirit guides as well. And the meditations that are in the meditation library are also in the Intuition Activation Academy, so you don't need to buy both. But I would encourage you, if you have it in your wheelhouse and in your budget, to go with the Intuition Activation Academy because it's going to change your life. So yay! And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.